All right, we're live. Hello, beautiful people.
What's going on?
Hey,
I had to turn on my good voice, turn on my sexy voice for the camera.
Oh God. Um.
ooh,
So we've got a topic. Nelson really wants to talk about white privilege because everybody
Yeah.
knows that we need more white men, straight white men, tuning in with their takes on white privilege. So why don't you kick it off, Nelson? Since
Mm.
you said you had a controversial take that pisses everyone off.
Well, I don't think they have a necessarily a Well, I guess I do have a controversial take. What? Well, let me ask this: Do you like if somebody was to just walk up on the street and say, "Hey, man, do you believe in white privilege?" What would y'all's answers be before we get into what I believe?
Yes.
uh,
Just yes. See, I would. That's the thing is like my whole so I believe in it to an extent, right? Because you have to be careful with things. It's kind of the same way that I feel about it's kind of the same way I feel about like addiction and when you start talking about it being a disease where it's like if you don't like because some kid somewhere who every odd is stacked against him can grow up to be Kanye West or can grow up to be LeBron James or can grow up to like if you allow oh these people have privilege and I don't to get in the way of your steps then or you allow it to become an excuse, then it's bad, right? It's bad for everybody. I believe
Yeah.
that in the judicial system, mainly because I've seen it in like if you're black, you might get locked up for a couple of more years than I would if I was white. Same charge, same everything. I've seen it. Or I think sometimes, it could be the coolest guy in the world. He comes in with dreads and somebody that's, clean cut and whatever might get hired before him. And I don't necessarily know if that's because he's black or if it's because there's a depiction in people's minds about what it's like to have dreaded hair and, so on and so forth. So I don't really know 100% where I stand on it, but I know that I think that it exists. I believe that I have more of a privilege in certain situations and circumstances than black people would.
Fair. So what's the controversial part? Because I feel like that's
I was
decently
I
a decent summary.
that white privilege exists. That's controversial. That's controversial to a lot of people. Everybody on my channel hates that I say it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Like I
I
just did that video of that guy that got I just did that video, the white privilege video that I put out, and people were in my comments that were absolutely like the guy was like literally doing jumping jacks, running back and forth to his car. He looked extremely dangerous and he was reaching and taking his clothes off and he was talking about running. And I mean, dude, like 30 minutes went by and he never got shot. He finally gets shot and it's accidental. It's accidental. Like some lady was freaking out and then they went to go tase him and one of the tasers hit another cop on the leg and it made the cop shoot his gun and he shot him in the shoulder.
what?
Like that's how far it had to go for him to get shot. Where I've seen whether this be the media or whether this be, just the way that my mind has seen things. I've seen black people get shot for a lot less. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's just an example
yeah,
where
that's
I'm mainly talking about the police and the judicial system more so than anything, where I see the privileged state. Like when I get pulled over, I don't feel anything. I used to. I don't feel anything anymore. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like my palms aren't sweaty. I'm not turning down my radio. I could care less. But
Yeah.
a lot of people they get pulled over and they're literally fearful for their life. Whether the cop like I love cops. My uncle's a cop, but what something made them fear that way. Something made them that fearful, right or wrong.
I'm gonna let Silver
Y'all
go
just
because I
gonna
feel
let
like
me
I'm gonna
talk?
do a lot of
Okay.
agreeing with Nelson.
so it depends on. I'll just start from the beginning. Everybody has a privilege in some type of way. So try being the only white guy in the hood because you will get
Fair.
you you will get pulled over if you're in the passenger seat. The cop will come to your side.
Fair.
So
Fair.
It does. It literally depends on every single circumstance where you are. If you're HB1 visa and you come over here and then you get higher up, you get higher rankings, and you become like a manager or whatever. You start bringing over more people from India. It's happening all the time. I see it firsthand. So that you have Indian privilege in that regard. Like there's so many Asian privilege in colleges. Like there's privilege amongst everyone in every way across all of society. When it comes to the judicial system and law enforcement, that's also gets complicated in the past for sure. Like there's no doubt that there was quote unquote white privilege in that regard because those were also we were also the people in charge. And back then, the times were different, and I think prejudice was way more rampant back then. So I think that was like through redlining and everything else. Like it was rampant back then. Now, as the decades go on, that starts to get further and further away. But you can't judge like so. There was crimes like, by example, a white guy with cocaine gets 3 years in prison. A black guy with crack, which is also cocaine, will get 10 years. That's like literal racist systematic racism. That's literally what that is because it's the same exact compound, same drug. So that's true. And I think that still holds today. So that one I would give them credence on. But you can't judge like Nelson. Let's say you were in court and then you had the same sentence as somebody else. Well, that judge could just be prejudiced, right? You can't judge all
Right. Yeah.
in different areas. Like in the same way with that video you talked about. So the back do what?
Can I just stop you right there? Or do you think that there's judges out there that are prejudiced against white people?
Oh, 100%. Now you're seeing a lot of repeat offenders that are from like Mexican and black, and they get released over and over again, and they keep committing the same crimes, and then white guys are getting punished. Like it's kind of the roles are kind of reversed. That's what the media that I see says, which could be completely biased, but because everything is fake and gay now. But the other side of it is the video that you were referencing. The backstory to that was the second and third time that he had been like apprehended by the police. It's a Navy SEAL with severe PTSD in that video, and those guys knew him. That's why. So you're not seeing like that, showing that guy and that whole incident and comparing it to a black dude that's in Memphis, like 1,000 miles away. It's completely different cops, completely different mindsets. It's never apples to apples. You can never judge one cop video against another because it's completely different people. It's not reality. Now, if you were to judge like the same precinct with the same type of people over and over again and watch their videos, then you can start to correlate cause and effect. But yeah, you can't judge like Dallas PD versus Atlanta PD. It's completely different situations. So
how real do y'all want to get here? Do y'all want to get super real? Y'all want to talk
real,
like
the realist.
Okay. So I don't know if I want to get that real. I don't know if I want to get that real. I have examples in my head of circumstances and situations that I can think of, right? Like if we're just being open, if we're being honest, like let's say that you're walking down the road. All of your points were fair, by the way. And that's part of the issue is I don't necessarily find myself disagreeing with any of that. But if you're walking down the street, quite simply put, you got your daughter when she's 2 or 3 years old, you're walking down the street and a guy passes you, looks like Dylan, you're not going to feel any type of way. But if a guy passes you with dreads and a gold grill, you might clench your daughter's hand a little bit more. And I don't think that necessarily means that you're racist. I think that it's kind of second nature. But the question that I have is why? Why is that? Why is that a thing?
It can be pattern recognition. And so if you're pattern recognition and your anecdotal evidence is that stereotype commits more crimes around you, then it's pattern recognition, and it's just being safe. Same thing. So if you grew up in a white trash area and you had a white meth head looking dude, you would do the same thing. So it's not really necessarily a race thing; it's just a pattern recognition thing,
or it's just a societal bias thing. Like, I mean, even if it was not color, but if it was just a guy with a shitload of tattoos, including like face tattoos, that's definitely like a societal bias thing, which I think is gradually shifting over time. But like, I mean, Tess and I were just, we just went to Panera and there was a guy with like, like weird fucking like face tattoos, like he had some words across and like some weird shit all over. And I was like, man, what the fuck's going on with that guy? Like, give him a little bit of wide berth or whatever. But I definitely think there's like some societal conditioning there too, where like, whether it's your parents or whoever, it's like, oh, you got to stay away from that guy or that type of person.
Mm,
I don't know. On the white privilege front, though, I'm more on the side of like, I don't know. I do think there's some systemic stuff that happens, like especially, like, I mean, it's just a fact. As far as like the crack and the cocaine thing that Silver was talking about, but the thing I mostly look at is like the redlining thing and the downstream
mhm,
impacts of that, where like there were programs that were specifically designed to prevent black families from accumulating wealth over time, and like that shit happened
or
like
having their
60
father in
years
the
ago
house.
or like 80 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So, and stuff like that has huge impacts. Like, having a house is the way most families generate or create wealth in the United States. Being able to pass on a house to your kids is a huge deal when it comes to can your kids afford to pay for school or something like that. If they don't have to pay for a house, I mean, God knows it's a lot easier to go to school and do
Right.
other stuff. Or where the parent, was the dad arrested for crack cocaine and put in jail for 10 years instead of 3 years or however much it might be. Stuff like that has real impacts on generations later of kids, whether it's generating wealth or just having a coherent family. um, and those negative effects can be passed down through the generations is my main thing.
Yeah, and I feel like all of that. I almost feel like I don't know if this is just a conspiracy theory or if I've heard it so much that it's like factual. I don't know, but like I do think that there's a big issue with the way that they did this redlining stuff and where it was like you can't get benefits in public housing if the father is present in the household, right? So they like encouraged mothers to raise children alone, which I think also just
That's true.
creates a lot of issues. So
That's
if
true.
you're a young boy growing up in the hood and you're looking for a role model somewhere, and you go outside and somebody's selling crack on the corner, that for better or for worse, that kid knows no better. He just looks at this and he's like, "This is my role model. This is who I want to be like. He's the man in my life." What do you,
Yeah,
what do
I
you do
mean,
with that?
but I
You
think a
know?
lot of that, like, I was arguing with Tessa about this last night. We were talking about just like the crazy amount of recalls there have been on like vegetables and eggs and all sorts of shit going on. Like they're recalling frozen blueberries and lettuce and just all sorts. There's like a huge list that's been going on lately. Um, and just because something is the outcome of something doesn't mean that was the intent. Like the intent can be fine, but you can have a bad outcome. Like I mean, I
Mm,
think we've talked about it in the past. I think we need more nuance. Like Tessa has
mm,
someone who works for her where they can't work over like 26 hours, otherwise they like lose their government benefits, and they'd be losing money by working more. So obviously we want to create a system where that's not incentivized. We just need a more nuanced system. But I don't think like when they're making the rules, they're like, hey, really, we want to make sure that people are only working 26 hours. Like, I don't think that's the goal of the system, obviously.
yeah, I don't know. That's where I get lost. I'm not sure. I hope not. And I'm hopeful, but I hope not. I hope that's not the goal of the system.
I don't think it is. I mean, if you ever talk to any like state lawmakers or even in some cases federal, I don't think they're like, hey, we want to make sure people aren't working. Like, I really just
Yeah.
don't think that happens as much as
Well,
people want to pretend it
today,
does.
no, I think I'm with you today. I think that back when all this redlining stuff started, though, I think that there might have been malicious intent
No,
behind it,
redlining
right?
was a specific policy that made it more difficult for black families to get low. What it was some kind of housing loan, basically some like beneficial housing loan. Oh, Silver, what do you got, buddy?
Who came up with this idea?
Who?
Oh, I don't know. Oh.
God, this fucking guy.
I mean, really, if you want to get down to the meat and potatoes of the whole thing, it all goes
Oh
back to a
god.
certain group every single time. But
Oh yeah.
America's like that.
Conveniently, it's all the same group every single time. Yes, we find a way to pin it on one group every time. It makes complete sense. I'm
it's
not
it's crazy.
I'm not
It's
saying no.
crazy.
I'm not going to say no names.
the
The point
group.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
you mean white people? Silver is what you mean, right?
No, because they don't claim to be white. So I think Kanye said it best. I'll just let him say.
Oh my god.
It's
Kanye
I'm being
apologized,
funny,
right?
but it's also true.
It's the problem is it's not true. The problem is it's just
It is
collecting
true.
facts that confirm the bias already.
Mm. Collecting the facts that confirm the bias already.
Yeah, it's called confirmation
I'm
bias.
also very good at that, by the way.
Yes, most people are. It kind of comes natural with the territory of being an advanced monkey person.
Yeah, I just yeah, wild.
I feel like there wasn't much contention though. I'm surprised even Silver agreed about a lot of the
Yeah.
Well, because those are
I
just that's just
background
reality.
stuff.
That
Yeah,
everything we said was true.
yeah.
It
right.
just is what it is.
But the internet doesn't live in reality. The internet likes to just like, absolutely no way. There's no such thing. So where's my privilege at? Where do I sign up to get my privilege? And I'm like, dog,
A lot of people don't realize
it's
what
just
privilege
like,
they actually have. Like,
mm,
it's
yeah,
like, well,
that's what I was
what
about to
bills do
say.
you pay, bro? And they're like, well, I pay for my phone bill, while my mom pays for my car insurance. And it's like, your mom pays your car insurance? How old are you again? Like, come on, bud. Like that's a privilege right there. Like people don't think about stuff like that though.
What do you like when your kids walk up and ask you, Silver? When your kids walk up to you and they ask you about all of this, what do you say?
What I just said.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
um, I don't like victim mentality
Me
at
neither.
all, and you'll see that a lot. That's preached in some communities a lot,
It
and I think
is.
that's. I mean, you got to remember who said that. Oh, it was Kanye said that, and he got shit on for years for that. And I agree with that because like what's funny is when you have a black man say slavery is a choice, and he was talking about the mind, the black community got really mad about it. But whenever I listen to somebody like Jocko, who's a white dude, who talks about the same thing but from a self discipline standpoint, I like it. It touches me, and I do it, and I fucking follow it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't, I don't like that, and I feel like that they've been poisoned for decades with that mentality, and you can see it whenever. And like I was telling Dylan before the thing started, we were watching. What's that called, Dylan? Midwest, whatever the hell that the
Oh,
YouTube
Midwest
channel.
Safety. It's like a cops
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah. So when you're watching that, like
Oh,
you'll see
cool.
blatantly obvious on body cam, black dude does something wrong, like fights the police, whatever. He gets arrested, and the whole time he's in the squad car. It's like I didn't do nothing. It's like, well, you did. Like
Yeah.
we saw it. Like but that's the mentality. That's where that comes from. So I just don't. But
Yeah, but
that's also a crowd.
the problem is there's an equal amount of dumb fuck, white people that when they get arrested, if they had the ability to cry racism, they would. Like
No, I wasn't. I
they're
was about to
just
say that there's a
okay.
class thing. It's a class
Yeah, it's
thing.
a class thing.
Yeah. So and
That's
it just go ahead.
yes. That's that's intriguing because I think that's why people like me and you might look at it so different than a lot of people that are white or that are political or that talk about politics or whatever. Like I feel like I look at it differently because I've been around both sides of the line. Like, you know, I'm in a really, really good place now. 15, 20 years ago, I was in a really, really nasty place. So I've seen, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen both sides of the fence here. And I feel like that makes the conversation a little bit more interesting and intriguing instead of people just dismiss it completely. Like, nope, not a thing. Can't be a thing. And it's normally the higher class people that say that it's
Class.
not a thing.
It also sounds crazy saying class, but um, I think I guess it is what it is. But it sounds kind of wild saying class.
I mean, they're
Because
just dumb fucks, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Some of the people there are just so fucking stupid. Like,
well, it's
so
just
many
yeah,
times.
it's just go ahead.
No, it's just so many times you see like a cop will pull people over and like they're not even asking for the passenger's ID or anything. They're just like, hey, your left taillight's out, just trying to warn you. And then like someone will just fucking run out to the side of the car and they're like, all right, I gotta chase you now. And they just fucking, tackle a guy and then, they'll start spitting at the cop for no reason. And it's like, bro, you didn't even have a warrant. Like just crazy shit. And they're just, it happens on, all different shapes, sizes, colors of dumb fuck. It's just fucking idiots, Just
There's a certain
People,
percentage of people that are just really low IQ. They can't like
yes,
the problem is we can't. So we view everybody as having the same level of like intellect as you, right? Like, so we can't even comprehend like what somebody really smart, like how they see the world. But at the same time, you can't also do the same thing with somebody that has like an 85 IQ. Like, you just don't, like, they're just not, we're almost like different species. So there is that. Because I'm just like normal dumb, but there's also like super dumb. You know what I mean? Like, so that changes the dynamic. And you see that plain as day watching those videos. Like, some people are just literally dumb, and then you throw drugs in the mix, it's even worse.
yeah. I think the drugs obviously dumb people down a lot. But God, there's some stupid fucking people on those videos. It's so addicting to watch, though. And you have
It's the
like
worst, dude.
some of them are the nicest cops ever. Like, it's impossible to like understand the patience of these people as these, people are just ruining their
Yeah,
lives in front of them. And they're just begging for it. Like the cops are like, I don't want to do the paperwork. I don't want to deal with your stupid
right.
ass pissing in the back of my fucking car. But they're like, I can't just let you get away with this. It's
It's
crazy, man.
it's rowdy, dude. We've put so many hours into this. I'm telling you, it's so bad. Like, I need to quit. It's a
it's
it's a
it's a
problem. We watch
it
so
falls
much.
off. Like eventually, you fall off of it. But then you go back down the rabbit hole like 6 months later, and you got to catch up on all of them. It's really good.
Apparently, apparently, there's another channel that's like, it does court, so you can watch full cases. Like, and apparently, it's really fun to watch. And then there's tow truck stuff that's similar. I haven't done that rabbit hole, but
But
yeah,
there's some juicy
golly.
tow truck stuff.
Uh, Nelson, when are we doing our beatboxing thing?
I would like to
Live
do
and
it
up.
this week sometime, but you said you hated doing it during the week.
Yeah, no, dude,
Monday
I
would be
can't.
perfect, bro.
I work
What are
too
you
much.
doing?
Yeah, Monday
Beatboxing.
would be perfect. Yeah, he wants to go on a beatbox journey, which I'm down for too. I think it sounds intriguing.
It's it's
Sounds
so
interesting.
it's so sick, dude. You're gonna love it so much. Your fans are gonna love it. It's so awesome.
Something like that.
It's so cool. And that dude will
It's
join.
cool as hell.
That dude will join.
Yeah.
Who's number 4 in the world?
I would
So,
love that, man. Yeah, we'll
He's
give him the
wicked cool.
link.
He's beefing with King Dada right now, which is funny.
I want why does King Dada beef with everybody, bro? He beefs
I don't
with
know.
everybody.
I don't know.
It's insane.
Dylan, I got a debate 8:30 Tuesday. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but anyway, it's about healthcare in America.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're
Where?
debating somebody about it?
Yeah, because he was like, we need to nationalize healthcare. And I'm like, you're fucking retarded. He was like, he named off all these countries that do it. And I was like, yeah, not apples to apples. Like, everybody that does that don't understand how comparing America to any other country is not apples to apples. Not even close. So that's the debate. So
Yeah.
this would be interesting.
You mean
Do you
like
think
free
we
healthcare
shouldn't?
in
I mean,
America?
do you
Yeah.
know? I feel like the problem
I don't know,
is,
man. I'm kind of with it. We can't
well,
do it. We really can't figure out a way to do it. I don't know. So I'm completely ignorant here, but it seems so absurd to me that we can't figure out a way to do that. Why can't we?
I
Well,
think
it's
we
not
need.
so. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we need a public option. I think a public option a public option, Nelson, being like, you should be able to buy Medicaid if you want. Like, you should be able to buy government run
Yeah, yeah.
health insurance if you want. But you keep the availability of private insurance as well. So like you can have a competing marketplace. You can just buy public, because the benefit of public healthcare is the administrative costs are a lot lower. So like the amount above what you're like, the theoretical value you're actually getting is a lot lower relative to like a private insurance, where like you're paying a lot more for the administrative bullshit and obviously the profit of the company that's running everything, than you would if you're doing like Medicaid. Now obviously Medicaid has its own problems.
Has a shit ton of problems. Have you ever been
Yeah.
on Medicaid?
No.
I have. So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be a really nuanced, and he's going to
I
have
have
like
been.
other. He's going to have people from Australia and shit on. It's like, oh, so I'm not going to be debating all these people, but ultimately, it
Medicaid
comes
does
down.
have a lot of problems.
It's horrible, dude. Like, you don't have the doctor selection's horrific. The doctors are slammed. They have
True.
to. they have to see 120 patients a day. There's no intimacy. There's no like, so they overlook a lot of things. That's how you get people getting just shoved a bunch of pharmaceuticals. Like it's horrific, dude. So anyway, he also wants me to provide
I
solutions,
agree.
which is I got some ideas, but that I've stolen, not my ideas, but there's just ideas I like. So it'll be
I got some
interesting.
ideas I've stolen.
Yeah, but you can also
Yeah, well,
improve Medicaid, right? Like I just don't see how you improve private insurance without giving them some competition,
I know you get rid
more
of it.
competition.
You get rid of it
So
altogether.
what if you get rid of private insurance, and what is there other than nationalized health
So
insurance?
it's no, so it's no, you don't have insurance
Oh
altogether.
God, everybody's going to have a contract with a local doctor?
Yeah, so like, well,
Oh, come
here's one of the
on.
ideas. Well, hold on. So this is one of the theories I've heard that seems it's more like what how we had it back in the day, like pre 1950. So before you had insurance raking the just robbing everybody blind, you got rid of that because you got to think about how much cost is associated to insurance and all the admins that they have to hire just to handle insurance alone.
Yeah.
So that saves a lot of cost there. But then on top, because right now you have Ways to Well, which is who I go through for my TRT, right? Which is the company that Rogan promoted. They don't accept insurance, and so I can get my blood work. All my stuff goes through them, and it's cheaper. It's $800 a year as opposed to going through my insurance. What it cost me out the ass with deductibles and everything else. Like it's just cheaper without insurance.
It's only $800 a year.
Yeah, for my test.
That and includes, the doctor, like all of it.
Just for the
that includes blood
testosterone.
work and everything.
No, that's pretty dope, bro. That's not bad.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
But what if you get cancer?
Well, so I'm getting that. So
he would have to go to a different doctor.
Well, yeah, but no. So what I was saying was that you get rid of this will never happen. So, but get rid of insurance would save a shit ton of money, right? But then on top of that, you could. Now I lost train of thought because I started drinking beer.
Nelson, mute your mic.
Oh, so that doesn't mean you couldn't subsidize some parts of it, because I think like if you wanted to do a national healthcare thing, right? I think you should allow the government to give everybody not a stipend, but like a blood work every year, because you could go through. There's so many different avenues to get blood work. So everybody has their panels every year, and you're allowed one MRI every 2 years, like through the government. Like I think stuff like that would be cool because it gives you a baseline.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you get rid of insurance, it lowers the cost for everybody. The reason here's the main issue with like Medicaid, Medicare, the VA, and everything else, right? The main issue with government controlled shit outside of like control, because now that they control your education, they control your healthcare, and then if you're in New York, they control your food too. Like, what are we doing? So aside from all that, it's not fair for like
Nelson, mute your mic when you're doing shit like that, bro.
Sorry.
It's fucking screwing a bunch of stuff just like a fucking ADD freak.
So if you have
still isn't muting his microphone as well.
Special needs and shit.
Anyways,
so the other issue is if Nelson and I, we're on the same plan. We're all on the same plan, but Nelson smokes cigarettes and drinks every day. Well, our insurance cost goes up and everything goes to shit because of his bad decisions in life. Like we shouldn't be, punished for that. And that's exactly what's going to happen, especially in America we're the fattest country in the world. Like the reason why cancer and shit's so high is because just to give you an example, we're outside and we're painting, it's 100+ degrees outside. We're painting parking spots for senior kids, right? Everywhere around me, dude, everywhere. All the kids were all drinking energy drinks, no water, just energy drinks, which is insane. And then all the parents had giant 32-ounce Dr. Peppers and stuff. Like in 100-degree weather in Texas. Like I'm looking at
that's absurd.
Yeah.
Nasty motherfucker. But think about that. That's the reason why insurance and stuff has gone up so high, is because everybody is doing that. They're not athletic, they're not healthy, they're not doing any activities. They're just, I'm not paying for that. So why would I ever sign up for healthcare for all whenever the all is insane? Like I'm not doing it. It's insane.
Yeah, because you could still get cancer.
Yeah, sure, but like, so I just think insurance it has become a scam. Like it's insane. I mean, that's why that dude blew that dude's brains out, because that guy, his direct policies killed like 50,000 people.
No, he was like a Luigi. Evidently, he was rich. He just, I'm sure he was just trying to be famous or some shit. Luigi supposedly was not actually impacted by
we all believe that being healthy should be a priority, right? So why wouldn't it be like, why don't we reward, like, whenever you are in the gym and you've been in the gym for 2 years and you're working on your health and you're working on your fitness and you're not drinking a lot and you're not doing this, and why can't, like, there be like a tier or a level of, like, now because you're fit and you're in shape and you have less body fat, you can be on this tier of a program.
Yeah, but there's a weird slippery slope there, right? Like if
All
you
right.
want cheaper car insurance, you can have them install like a fucking tracker that tracks how fast you accelerate and how fast you drive and where you drive and all that shit in your car. And you can get cheaper car insurance, but do you really want a fucking company that
Never.
the insurance company tracking how fast you're accelerating, where you're driving to, how fast you're driving? Like, do you want to trade that? Because that's literally what you're saying is we're going to give
Yeah.
insurance companies or the government or whoever it might be, access to our blood work and access to, testing us for, are you smoking? Are you vaping? Are you doing, weed? Are you fucking, how often do you drink? Do we need to test you every night? Do we need to prick our
Yeah,
finger
that's
and
true.
stick it in the fucking Blue Cross Blue
Yeah.
Shield machine to see what our blood alcohol is every night so we can get cheaper insurance? Like that's kind of the problem is like
That's
because
a good point. Very good point.
I've had this argument with my dad, who's a doctor, and God knows he fucking hates insurance companies, but he also hates the government. So he has no solutions for this, which pisses me off every time I talk to him about it because he just hates everybody involved. Uh, but
I like your
uh,
dad.
yeah, I know
I like your dad a
you
lot.
would, you and him would get along so well. Actually, it really pissed me off. But, that's the problem is you're whatever it is, whether it's Medicare, private insurance. If you get to the point where you say you want to penalize people for smoking or drinking soda or whatever it is, sure you can do that, but there's an invasion of privacy that comes along with that, and you're also giving them
I guess that's true.
access to all this information. And like, I don't know, it's such a slippery slope where when it comes to insurance there's so many facets that you have to balance, whether it's privacy or fairness, like what you're talking about. I mean, it is ridiculous that if I pick up a pack of cigarettes and start smoking, theoretically, either increasing your insurance price or using some set of resources, because most insurance companies have to approve a certain amount of claims. And so if I, get lung cancer and they approve my claim, then your claims are less likely to be approved or whatever it might be. Um, which is why I think you kind of just need like a fits all policy. And I think, I don't know. I will say, as hard as it is to like prescribe a solution, I think profit should not be involved in insurance.
Yeah, well, here's part of it is I've heard people say some of the issues is not having enough transparency on the doctor side, hospital side, and the insurance side. So if you can
Okay.
mandate through the government more transparency, which is kind of like, an oxymoron for the government to mandate transparency, but that would help with the pricing because the pricing structure is insane. But
Well,
you can also you also need competition. So right now you have it based on borders. So like you can't have like y'all can't have Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, right? You have to go with your but if you open up the borders to where nationally you could get on part of a bigger group, then that would have massive cost savings. But on top of that, they need to make it more privatized to where you could do things like Costco could carry their own insurance, and then that would be really competitive. So like but they don't allow that for whatever reason. So there are certain ways you could do it where you can still keep insurance. They just don't allow it for whatever
yeah,
reason.
I will say on the transparency front, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I was trying to figure out, we recently, well, a couple of years back, we switched our insurance plan. And I was trying to figure out if glasses were covered under the plan because I was at the eye doctor and they were like, "Oh yeah, it looks like glasses might be covered, but we're not sure." And I was trying to get on the phone with insurance to figure it out. And I was like, "I'll just read my policy," because I'm that guy who's like, "I'll just read it and figure it out myself." Like I don't like to fucking deal with any of that bullshit. So I tried to fucking read it. You can't. Like all I was able to pull up is a list of examples. And I found the example about glasses, and I shit you not, it was like, say you have a daughter named Sally, and Sally's 17 and needs a pair of glasses. Sally can get a pair of glasses, but if Sally is 18 and turns into an adult, Sally can't get glasses. So basically, what it was is like, you have to be
Right.
a kid on the plan to get glasses. You can't get them as an adult. But the fact that they don't have like a fucking section that says coverage for glasses minus, under 18 you get glasses, over 18 you don't. It's fucking insane. Like, why don't they just have it clearly spelled out? It blows my fucking mind. But on the
So
other
they're going to
aspect,
exploit you.
well, yeah, yeah, I agree. But the problem is with more regulation, usually, especially on the insurance front, the more regulation you add to it, they just increase the price for the consumer more and more and more and more. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't see a way you get away from like having a public option, or yeah, I don't know. I think if it's an option, I don't mind it. I think only good things can come from that. Obviously, assuming that we make Medicare, or what is it? Medicare is for old people. Medicaid, right? Is
Yeah.
the Yeah, Medicaid. We make it better because my dad the other night my dad was bitching about it, and evidently they changed. Which, I mean, it might be a good change, honestly, but they basically removed some. This is his words. I have not fact checked this at all. But they removed some of the profitability from taking care of Medicaid patients, and they basically moved it to where once they get their like preventative care, or they actually like follow through with the recommendation. So if somebody comes in, they like, need an MRI, once they actually get the MRI that you are supposed to get prescribed them, then you get the money, instead of like they come in, you get the money. Which, it kind of makes sense, and that is one of like the weirdly good things. I know it is used in a bad way now. But one of the actual services insurance does is making sure that there's not a huge amount of waste. Like, if I go up to the fucking doctor and I'm like, hey, my toe hurts, I need a CAT scan or something, the insurance not going to approve it because they don't want to waste the money on it. And they don't, and obviously it can be bad where like if I actually need a CAT scan, then the insurance doesn't approve it, then I'm in a shitty situation. But
They also,
it,
on the flip side, they also dictate what brands of pills you can take
Yeah,
for no
that's also
reason.
fucked. Well, I'm
And
sure
people
the
have
reason for
died
them is
because
they
of it.
probably have deals with certain pharmaceutical manufacturers where if they funnel them there, they get, more beneficial pricing or
So,
whatever it
but
is,
that's not
which
based on the
is super
patient, though.
incestuous and fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's where the transparency. I don't know that. I don't know if you could ever fix it because there's too much. There's so much money involved in all of it, dude. There's so much money. I just don't think they'll ever. Unfortunately, dude, our country is going to shit, and I don't think there's anything that's going to stop it. Like, there's still people defending Trump every day, and I don't like you hear it. I hear it in public, and I just want to go like,
I don't hear it in
what,
public that often, fortunately.
dude?
But I
It's
see it on
it's
a lot of
crazy.
Facebook posts all the
Like
time.
I was we were when we were painting stuff. Like I just heard parents talking about shit, and like they were defending like Iran war. Like
That's because people don't actually know anything that's happening, though.
I
Like,
know, and I know, but it's like so. Yeah, we're fucked, dude. It's not. We're never going. I mean, we're not getting the '90s back. We're not.
the thing
It's just not.
is, I mean, once we leave, I don't know. Once we leave the war, I don't. I'm curious. I feel like a lot of people will abandon him once the war is cooked. I mean, it already
It's
is.
not
It
just
just
that
hasn't happened
it's
yet.
not just that people it's not just that people are ill informed. It's also that people just have like this false sense of hope that we're going to bring the 90s back, and that's the way that they feel if they can just lie to themselves and say like everything is fine and everything is okay and he's doing a good job. If they can do that, then they can go to bed at night without having to worry about tomorrow. And I think that that's really what it is for a lot of people. I don't even think that they necessarily believe it.
I hope. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I'm telling
It's
you, man, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is like, he votes and then he just kind of like turns his brain off to politics. He's just like,
yeah.
I'll see like a clip every now and again on TikTok or whatever it is from Fox News, and oh yeah, looks like great things are happening in Iran, I guess, and just doesn't question it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are going to do that, and the older generation. I mean, they're about to be out of here, man. They're checking out soon. So why?
Thank
It just
God.
is what it is.
Yeah. Did your dad also go? Oh, the vaccine's good. Okay. Stab. 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 Stab.
I don't even know if I want to air that out in public in case it gets around.
Yeah.
um, I think you'd probably agree with him more than I agree with him on COVID. Funnily enough,
Hey.
which is weird. Um, you need to watch that debate I sent you about the zoonosis versus lab leak.
I meant to watch that. What was that about again?
It was about lab leak versus zoonotic origin
Oh
for
yeah,
COVID. It was very good. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want. I don't know. It's always hard to avoid talking about Trump these
it
days.
didn't. It didn't come from pangolins. Let's get that straight.
Well, what
Fucking
is a pangolin?
stupid. That's
Oh,
what they said. That was the official narrative for like a year.
oh, I thought the thing was it like went back and forth with a bat or something.
Yeah,
Um,
but it was a pangolin with a bat in a wet market in Wuhan,
oh,
not the
I'm.
fucking Wuhan lab for coronavirus.
I don't know. You should watch the debate. I think the lady there, and I've seen other things that make similar compelling points. I don't know. I don't think it was lab leak, but
Y'all don't want to talk about
we're
the
not
Candace
called.
Owens and Andrew Wilson debate?
I was just
Oh
gonna ask
man,
that. That
I
was
was
shit was
thinking
so
about it
fun.
too.
I
Yeah, it
liked
was
it.
good.
I enjoyed it. First and foremost, I
Did she
enjoyed
really
it.
get paid? Did she really get paid $300,000?
She
Yeah,
did.
dude.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Hopefully, she has to give it all to Piers Morgan. She made a bet with Piers Morgan about Brigitte Macron and whether or not
I
she
think
has a dick.
I think she's right about that, and it's not her. Like that's what people misconstrued. Like
What?
there was a 7-year investigation about it, and all she was doing was parodying a book that the journalist wrote that got put in prison for it. You do know that, right? It
I
wasn't.
don't.
It was her own government. There was their own government that did that.
I've
It
not
wasn't
looked
her.
that deeply into whether or not
Most
the
people don't
wife
know
of the
that.
French prime minister has a dick or
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Um,
dude.
See,
Most people
I
didn't know
fuck with
that.
Candace, bro.
Candace,
you're
seriously,
joking, Nelson.
think about no, think about that. Everybody thought Candace made
I'm
that
not.
up.
I
No, that
fuck
was
with Candace, bro. I
I'm
do.
not
I
saying
just
she
think
made
that
it up. I'm sure she based it on something.
it was a
she goes
7-year
crazy.
investigation. And they wrote a book about it, and they won it in court. Over after a long time, they won in court. I'm telling you, dude, she's not. She's more. I mean, we will. I don't think we'll ever find out. But like I think it'll all get thrown under the rug. But she has some. There's some quality evidence to some really weird shit that family's been doing. So I don't know. I mean, she's got. There's a reason why she's so hard on that whole thing because I think she's right.
So hard on.
Yeah. But as far as the debate goes, it was a fun debate, and I think she exposed Andrew really bad because he did not he was not prepared, and his whole goal. I think his whole goal was to get her to implicate herself in a lawsuit on behalf of Erica Kirk. That's why he kept going back to it because he was not well prepared. Every question
That's
he had,
messed up.
she had to answer for it. I've watched so many breakdown videos from different debaters, and they've were just breaking down from a debate standpoint. She crushed him, dude. Now
But
the one piece that I think he did a good job on that most people don't catch is that the text message thing that he did was making a mockery of her and her evidence, and most people didn't catch that.
I think he
where
did
she
a good
asked if he got
job, bro.
texted.
Like,
Sorry, keep going, Nelson.
well, I will say the clip that Silver sent about, what are the charges that killed him. I think without that, I don't think it was as clear cut as everybody said it was. I actually think he handled himself pretty well. She's not an easy person to debate, bro. You know what I mean? That's Candace Owens, for Christ's sakes. Even if you think that she's a hot air balloon that's lost all of her way, she knows how to speak. She knows how to debate, and she knows how to talk. So
The problem is,
I thought he did a really good job.
I think she won. She came out looking better.
Yeah.
I think they both had moments where they both looked really bad, but I think the problem is they're both full of shit. Like I said this, in our text. Like I think they're just both equally bad. Well, I think Candace Owens is just a little better at doing what Andrew Wilson does. Like Andrew Wilson's strategy normally is to never ever have to lay down your own point and to just always attack the other person's point. And like Andrew was on the right track at one point where he was trying to get Candace to tell what her story was. Like, what's your chain of events? What actually happened? Like, who fired the shot? Where were they? Where'd they go? Like, who killed him?
But that's
But
not.
she,
But that's she was right, though, because he lost right out of the gate when they said,
Why?
"What's the percentage chance of you or of him being guilty?" He said 75. That's reasonable doubt. No jury can convict on 75%. She won in the
but she
opening
said
statement.
zero. Zero is
It
way
doesn't
more
matter.
irrational.
It doesn't.
But
It doesn't matter.
zero is way more
She said
irrational.
0%.
That's irrelevant because he was taking the stance of the state. So he was
No,
saying the
he was
evidence is
he was
overwhelming.
taking the stance that he felt there was, which his
Right.
definition of overwhelming evidence was fucking stupid. Overwhelming
I know.
evidence, his
Right.
definition of that
But
is it convinced me. Like you didn't,
right.
he couldn't put 2 more seconds of thought into a better definition for the
No,
prompt. Like, come
right,
on.
sure. But the point is though that if with reasonable doubt, because she said, I think he's either a patsy or there's more people involved. We need to ask more questions. They're not doing a good job of investigating this, right? That's her stance. So all she had to do is prove that there's more questions involved than what the official narrative is. She did that. What he did was right out of the gate was say that I have reasonable doubt right out of the gate with 75%. You can't convict on murder like that with 75% of the jurors. It's done.
Yeah,
You
but you
lost.
don't.
Like he
I
lost
mean, it's
out the gate.
never. Well, I guess beyond reasonable doubt. It depends on what the definition is, because, well,
That's how it works in
no,
court of
it's
law, dude.
what. Well, no. What's that? What's the technical definition of beyond a reasonable doubt? Then would it be like ninety
Well,
percent? It's not a
for his
hundred
crimes,
percent.
yeah, but for
Yeah,
his crimes, every single juror has to agree that he was guilty.
yeah,
You
but
can't be
not like a hundred
if it's
percent
11-1.
certainty.
Yes. Well, they overwhelmingly have to, but
They have to
75.
believe it. They have to
Yeah.
believe it to
So
100%
all 12
certainty.
jurors, go watch 12 Angry Men. They break it down. I'm telling you, he lost out of the gate with his opening statement by saying 75%. Like he lost. Like that was it
Well,
was done.
regardless, like I mean, sure. I guess he lost. You can say. I mean, I agree. He lost regardless. But my
Yeah,
criticism is that Candace never actually gave a factual like
she did.
position. No, she didn't.
Yeah,
She
she
no.
dude. She
There's
gave
more
reasons.
questions to ask. Is not
Yes,
a fucking real position.
yes, it is
Like,
because, dude,
isn't it?
the state, right? They have evidence that they're putting forward, right? That's based on hearsay, which is that 12 rule that she kept referring to. But you have to ask more
Yeah,
questions based on
her
certain
definition
facts.
of hearsay was stupid. It was both of them did not understand what hearsay is.
She was quoting what the actual law says. But
No,
regardless,
she was. But the thing is,
why did they
sorry,
go ahead?
if you say, "Hey, Dylan, I'm going to go kill this guy because he's a piece of shit and he needs to die," and then I go in front of a court and I say, "Silver told me that he was going to go do X, Y, and Z," that is not hearsay.
Correct.
But she was trying to say that that is hearsay, which is not the case. Because they were talking about the text messages where Robinson texted somebody directly that he was going to do X, Y, and Z. And she was calling those text messages hearsay, and they are not hearsay, which made
But
her
I think
look
so, yeah,
really
because
bad.
And I
well,
don't
because
think that
I
she
think
thinks that that's hearsay either. I don't think
No,
that she really
she
believes that
must
that's
because she
hearsay.
kept saying that they were hearsay and under the 1108 or whatever the fuck.
Performative.
yeah,
That yeah,
It's
but
she
performative,
was
bro.
referencing the definition that the courts gave for that 1102,
but
whatever the fuck. But
I will say
regardless,
I googled the definition. It's a weird definition. Like sometimes legal definitions are just weirdly phrased.
yeah.
But it is a little bit ambiguous. But the fact is, like, if I'm testifying to something I heard you say, that is not hearsay.
So
Hearsay is like,
here's the
sorry.
thing. She was trying to provide reasonable doubt as to why he could be a patsy or he could have. He's not a lone gunman, right? When you the very next day they concrete over the crime scene. That right there,
That is nuts.
he
That
had
is nuts.
zero argument for that. He had zero argument for why they got rid of the SUV that he was taken to the hospital in the day after. Like there's so
That
many
is
things that
nuts.
happen. It's nuts. And then he goes, well, why do you think this? And she go, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah,
he'd go,
but well,
okay, well, what about this? And he would never debate it. You lose with that, dude. Like there's reasonable doubt there. There's
no,
other people
there's
involved.
if you want to do the reasonable doubt game though, you can do like you can reasonable doubt to infinity
Infinite.
because I can give you
Yeah.
reasonable doubt. Maybe the police, I'm sure, I'm 1,000,000% sure that the next day the police officers were overwhelmed because they hadn't caught the fucking guy yet. So I'm sure the police were fucking up all night scrambling trying to find a guy. And it could reasonably potentially be the case that somebody forgot to fucking post up a cop there to make sure they didn't fucking clean off the crime scene. Or it could happen, right? If we're doing the reasonable doubt
So
game, there's
the answer is to
infinite
concrete over
possibilities
the
in the universe. I'm just saying there's infinite possibilities in the universe, dog. Like if you want to play that game, we can go down that rabbit hole, which is why I think it's stupid. The game that Andrew and Candace both play, where they'll just infinitely be critical of every single position and never actually stake their own position. Because she never said Andrew tried to reroute and tried to ask her, like, what is your actual what would you say happened that day? And she couldn't say. She's like, well, I don't know, maybe the French, maybe the Israelis. And that was where I think she did terribly, where he kept trying to ask her what
But
it
that's the
was.
point.
And
But that's
she's
the
like, I
point,
don't have
though.
to explain myself to you. And it's like, bitch, he gave you $300,000 to debate you. Like, just answer the fucking question.
Well,
Like, it was
again,
so
that
dumb.
was also he was also trying to entrap her. That's why, because she had
It's a
legally.
debate.
Yeah, but he was trying to. I'm telling you, he was paid by Team USA, whatever the hell they're called, to entrap her in a lawsuit. I
Team
promise you, that's what it
USA.
Team.
whatever they're called.
That was
I
funny.
don't think so. I mean, I don't. I mean, he didn't do a good enough job of that if that's what he was paid for. So they didn't get their money's worth.
No,
Um,
he did poorly. He knows, and he's doubling down on it. It's crazy. It's like, dude, admit you lost.
it's hilarious.
Like so,
I love the coping on Twitter. It's so good.
dude. So
Uh,
Dave
what are we
Smith
fucking
debated.
wife beatering right now? Fucking nuts.
Hey, I'm drinking to get hot.
I'm doing. I couldn't quit thinking about if I did it too, how funny it would be. So I did it too.
Now we look crazy. We were talking about white privilege and shit with the white beaters on.
Yeah.
God. The So Dave Smith debated Andrew Wilson a while back, and it was on Worldview,
Oh, God,
and
what a
Dave Smith
nightmare.
got beat. Dave Smith got beat and openly admits to getting beat by him, which is cool. Like that's the way, dude. You can't win them all, right? And I think Andrew would have gone further if he would have admitted he lost, because he did. He just did. When the
Okay,
entire internet says you lost, you fucking lose. Even if you technically didn't, you
that's
But
lost
fair.
the
because it was
No,
AI,
so.
the AI said I won, so I must have won, right?
Well, no, but
well,
if
to me,
you
that's
debated and you got most of the votes, you won. You changed more minds.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but
that's a
people are
fair. I
dumb.
think that's a fair criticism because that's part of what the issue is in the world is just that everybody just wants to double down and triple down in their BS instead of just admitting when you're wrong. It's okay to admit when you're like if you're wrong and it's blatant, just it's cool. It's not a big deal. But maybe it is a little bit more difficult whenever like nobody was really right proven. Like Candace didn't prove anything, and that makes it maybe a little bit more difficult for Andrew to take the L. Whereas if she like maybe actually proved something, maybe he would have been more susceptible
Well,
to it.
But
she
the problem,
proved that she knew the case way better than he did.
she did
She
know the
proved
case
that.
She
better.
did. She
But
did.
the problem is like that's the problem, and I've always said this, but with Andrew and Candace, I guess as well, is they never actually stake a position that can be criticized. All they do is attack, 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 cast out, cast out, cast out. So there's no
Right.
like even if you're watching debate, there's no winner. Like there's nothing is ever
I don't agree
accomplished
with
by
that
any of
though.
their fucking
I don't agree with
debates.
that. Her stance is that there's reasonable doubt in the fact that he did it. He was a lone gunman because that's the official narrative.
Yeah, but
She didn't
half of her
prove that.
points are fucking just, either misconstruing, legal terms or, just being uncharitable to certain situations. Like,
Again, dude, concrete over the crime scene the next day is by itself a win. Like that's insane, dude. Like what? How the guy they had the patsies, the guy that was like, I did it, I shot him. Like that guy that's been involved in several other big incidents is like that's weird. Why was he there? Like
the
there
problem,
was two guys actually arrested that day that were just admitting that they did it when they didn't do it. Like that's
the
there's
problem,
more shit
Silver,
involved.
is what you're proposing, or what she, I guess, is proposing, if that were the case, is not only to have like the patsies on the ground, people within the police department to let people pave over, people within the university to get people to pave over the crime scene. Just the scale of this
It
that
gets too
she's
complicated.
proposing is insane,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
God knows, like, you just can't do it. Like, that's which I mean, we could go. That's why I think something like 9/11, I just think is impossible. Like we're fucking 25 years later, and we're the whistleblowers. Like God, we already have fucking
Well,
whistleblowers for the war in Iran over the amount of munitions we're using. That's like tiny
well, we never,
fucking
well,
peanuts compared to
you never had that
9/11.
with you never had that with the nuclear bomb because it was so I can never say that word. They had so many small groups.
Compartmentalized.
Yeah, there's so much of that. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I'm saying that right now. But like, so during 9/11, we also figured out recently that one of the hijackers was also Mossad. Like, go look that up. It's fucking insane. Like, of course. So I mean, he had strong ties to Mossad. Like, go look it up. You can look it up. It's all over the
Someone
news.
in the Middle East having strong ties to Mossad? Oh
Well,
no, that's
hey,
very damning.
how many ISIS attacks have there been in Israel? Go ahead, I'll wait.
I don't know. Maybe, even if
How
it's
many Al
zero, maybe
Qaeda
they're
attacks
just
have been
really.
on Israel? Zero. There's a reason for that. Anyway, now we're gonna go there. It's because hey, can't.
Oh man,
Why did the
that's
president of Israel, the day Charlie got killed, 2 hours afterwards, go, "We didn't do it. Nobody asked." That's insane,
it is
dude. It's
strange. It
insane.
isn't strange.
That's
Did he actually
insane.
say that?
Yes, look it up. He tweeted it. We did not kill Charlie Kirk. It was two
That
hours
is
before he
kind of a
died.
next level troll if he did though. Like
Fucking insane.
tweet about Charlie Kirk.
Some I
I
don't know,
mean, maybe it
man.
wasn't two
Something
hours,
has
but
to give.
it was soon. Do what?
I just think something has to give. Like people don't necessarily care about facts anymore anyway. It's just more so about
Uh,
what aligns with your story. And if you can find a fact
He
to
didn't say.
uh
He said
if you can
Charlie
find
Kirk
a
was
fact
murdered
that
for
just
speaking truth
aligns.
and defending freedom. A lion-hearted friend of Israel, he fought the lies and stood tall for Judeo-Christian civilization. I spoke with him 2 weeks ago and invited him to Israel. Sadly, that will not take place. We lost an incredible human being. His boundless pride in America and valiant belief in free speech will leave a lasting impact. Rest in peace.
that doesn't sound like the
Are
way
you
I
sure
saw
he
it. That
didn't
read.
delete it? He might have deleted it.
Yeah,
That just
it was.
doesn't sound like it happened. That'd be crazy, right? That would just be so fucking crazy to me.
It's really on the
I would
nose.
not be
So
surprised, bro. Nothing surprises me
It'd be
anymore.
pretty funny if that had happened, but I don't think it did.
yeah, it's wild. I don't know what I was
I don't know, man. Like if I'm trying to think of a good example, man, but I struggle to think of one. I think like if I don't know, if I go downstairs and my youngest daughter's nose is bloody, right? And my oldest daughter is like, I accidentally ran into her nose. And the youngest daughter is like, no, she literally clocked me in my nose. I feel like if some kind of factual evidence, it's not necessarily proven it to be fact. If Cadence is like, yeah, but look, there's a sock right here. I tripped over it. That's why it happened. And there might really be a sock right there. And yeah, that's a fact that there's a sock right there, but that's not necessarily the cause. How do I know that that's actually the cause? How do I know that that's actually what caused it to happen? How do I know she didn't really bop her in the nose? Y'all understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you look at her
There's
hand, you
a
see if
lot of
there's blood on her hand or, mark on her hand, right?
right, but let's say there's not there. Let's say there's nothing there. So what I'm trying to say is like I feel like all of this extra sauce goes into arguing and debating about that sock being on the floor instead of how to like the actual nose punch, like what actually happened to the
The
nose. And I think
problem
that's
the problem is Candace doesn't have an actual story. Like she doesn't
right.
have
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's very aggravating to me. It's like why do
well.
you
How
we're
that's not her
pretty much
job.
talking.
That's
I
not her
guess
I
job.
so.
mean with
Her
the
job
amount
is
of
that,
time
I don't
she's
know.
put into there, the fact that she doesn't have like a timeline for what might have happened is pretty
she
fucking
does have a
crazy.
timeline. She does have a timeline, but she
Why didn't
doesn't.
she give it during the debate?
Because he's again he's legally they were her lawyers are saying don't do XYZ because he's trying to trap you in a lawsuit. I promise you that's what was happening. She has she goes go to my channel and watch it. The timeline is on her. She has all
Yeah,
that
I think it's
laid
a bad
out.
look for her though in the debate. I mean, I
No,
agree.
it
Like,
wasn't
I agree
because
with Nelson that that's a bad look. I still
dude
think, like, for the layperson, she came out looking better because she manipulated the conversation better and did all that. But at the end of the day,
he
I mean,
said
She's great at that.
he was pro the official narrative, right? Which is one of the things he said was some 306 30-06 bullets can break apart midair.
did he actually say that?
Yes,
Andrew
which
Wilson
is
said that.
insane, dude. That's insane, bro. Especially from 140 yards. That's insane. The official narrative from the commissioner, not the commissioner, but the DA and stuff, is that the bone hit his spine and all that. Like, dude, go watch any video from all the gun tubers that are going through and shooting 30-06s into different things. It blows holes in pigs, dude. Like he should have been decapitated if it was a 306. Like
Oh,
the
come on. Crazier shit has
there is
happened.
bullets can act weird. There is that
Yes.
chance, but that round is quite crazy. Like it's a crazy big round. Like I mean,
Do
I
they
don't
know,
know.
like, do they know, was it like an old cartridge or something like that, maybe? or
Yeah,
like I
that
don't
could
know.
that could play. Yeah,
If it
that could
was
play a
like,
huge role. So
because it was his grandpa's gun, so it might have been super old. The gunpowder might have been like degraded or whatever,
yeah,
or
all
it could have
that's
just been
open.
low. Not a lot of gunpowder or whatever the fuck. I don't know. There's a
Yeah,
million
yeah.
different aspects, right?
All of that is true, right? But then also there's other things like where he's walking to the roof with it stuffed in his pants. And that comedian
Mm.
Owen Benjamin stuck the exact rifle in his pants. He's 6'8", and you could clearly see it on a 6'8" human being. Like I don't know, like there's so many things that just don't match.
Yeah,
Like
but
oh, the body camera went off right as he started going over to the roof. Like conveniently, the body camera goes
have you
off. Like
ever
come
seen
on, dude.
one of any of those
It is
like
fishy,
I
but
forget I forget what channel it was. There were these like it was comedy-esque shows where they would show like weird stuff about the brain where like they'd have a guy behind the counter at like a restaurant and they'd do like drop down to grab something and they'd do like a quick change where they'd like change their shirt or
Yeah,
change their tie or change their hat and nobody really notices for the most part,
yeah,
right? Like it's really easy just in the hubbub of a crowd or when there's Charlie Kirk's over there speaking and there's a crowd and there's all sorts of shit going on, people just aren't really attentive. Like it
I
might
agree.
no,
it
yeah,
I
is
agree.
yeah.
completely
I
possible
do
that
agree
this
with
guy
that.
was just walking around with a fucking gun that basically was just kind of out there for the most part and
Well, we're
people just
basing it
didn't
on
fucking
video though.
realize.
Well, no, we're
Yeah.
based on the video footage, not people, not witnesses. We're
Well,
based on the
no, that's what
footage.
I'm saying. Because you said he was walking around with a gun that was super obvious. Like, it might
Well,
still be the case.
on the camera, it doesn't look like it. He has a gun on him because,
Oh, okay.
but whenever that's yeah. So, and I'm also open to the fact that he could be a lone gunman. I'm not even against it. I'm just saying there's a lot of weird things that there's enough evidence there that supports reasonable doubt. That's her stance. I think she proved that, which is why most people agree with her because she proves that there's a reasonable doubt there, and that's all she has to do. That's her stance. He had to prove why the state was right, and I don't think he did a good job of that.
I don't think that was the
That's the
tech.
debate.
Well, I don't. I think he was talking about overwhelming evidence, which, I mean, I'm sure they went back and forth a ton over the topic of the debate and probably settled on that because Candace knew it was something that she could attack. So, whereas, any
Yeah.
other prompt would have made her look worse. So I'm sure that
Yeah,
was, part of it.
but he
Because
was
She's
wanting to
it is a
calm
smart,
down.
shitty
man.
prompt for him.
She's very smart, and she's not going to go into a debate that she even feels a slight chance of losing.
Yeah. I mean, she won
No,
regardless because
That's
she
why I'm
got paid
surprised.
300 fucking
I like
grand.
facts. That's what I was about to say. I'm super surprised that he was willing to do that. I like you must have had like 300,000 just ready to blow. I mean, did she? I don't know, bro.
Well, he
Like
crowdfunded
that's
like 80
insane.
grand, and I think the whatever podcast guy gave him like 100. Which, if I gave that guy any money for that debate, I would feel a huge amount of regret because of just how
Oh
terrible of a job
yeah.
he did.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, what are y'all thinking though, bro? Like that's Candace Owens. I know everybody thinks that she's a
she's not
lunatic.
even.
I think that she's a little lunatic. How? What's the right word for that? I think
A
she's a lunatic
lunatic.
a little bit too.
She's not a
But
lunatic. She's smart, and she could be a
I think
supreme
so too.
grifter. She's a
I
supreme
think so too.
grifter, not
There,
lunatic.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
supreme grifter. But I agree with Silver. She's super smart. I would never want to debate her personally. I listen. I don't even think she knows anything about hip hop, and I know everything about hip hop. I don't even want to debate Candace Owens on hip hop. I just don't want
Right,
to
bro.
debate her. Like
I wouldn't debate her about my wife and I's relationship to her.
it's facts.
She'd smoke me, dude.
Yes,
Like
that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
I didn't see her the first time. Like she'd cook me, dude. There's no way. But there's
I
also
don't know.
talent. There's talent in debates though. Like so you have to know so Andrew
Yes,
knows all the he knows how to debate really well. I've watched a
he
lot of his
does.
streams.
I
He's
think
super
so
good at
too.
it. But I think he got nervous, dude. Like I think because that's why he was shaking his foot. I think he
He
went
was
into it
shaking.
thinking, yeah, I think he underestimated her, and then he realized that really quick.
Yeah,
And then when she caught him with that
yeah.
got you at the end, dude, that shit crushed him. That
That
sealed the
was
deal.
bad.
That was
Yeah, I
bad.
agree. That was that moment. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I just don't think she's to trifle with in that way. And the part that I hate about it all is that just gives more validation to what she's been saying this whole time, and I don't think that it's good for anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. Like, what are like? I don't know, man.
We'll see. I mean,
So,
there'll be some crazy cope regardless, depending on the results of the court case. But I mean, it'll take forever, as all court cases do, unless he decides to plead guilty.
It's gonna it is gonna be interesting because I do think there's a lot of holes in that case, and a lot of it doesn't make sense for real. I just don't know what else to think because there's nothing else that's really sold me on another theory. Like,
Yeah,
just
they're
think
just
there.
it's a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit talking about a sock on the floor. Y'all
I
get
just
that's why
think
I
it's
said that. Like,
the motive is Israel and the funding that was pulled and everything else. That to me, all eyes point to that right now.
listen to me. That would be if that ended up being true. I don't see it, but if that ended up being true, that would be real. We'll never know. We'll never
but
know.
No, we'll
aren't
never know.
I mean, did
I
he
think
even? I don't know. I
here's
think
the thing
that's
that
rough.
gets
So
this is what gets most. This is what will get. Dylan's
Ask
going to roll
it.
his eyes. Dylan's going to roll his eyes. He's going to hate this. But we know for a fact, undisputed, MK Ultra is real. It's confirmed. They don't even deny it, which is mind control. We know the CIA does it. They were doing it in the 50s, 60s, 70s. We know this for a fact. It's not even disputed. So you think the CIA stopped doing mind control when they got caught?
No, of course not. Of
well,
course not.
Okay.
they were
So and
trying
who
to
do
do
we?
mind control. Is there any evidence they ever succeeded at mind control?
Yes, Charles Manson, the
Dill.
Unabomber.
Yeah,
We
bro.
talking about? There's
Yeah,
documentaries about
bro.
this.
Mind control. Like Charles Manson is.
Do
I
you
didn't
think
even
the
think about
CIA
him,
under
but
Donald Trump
I was thinking more like Disney
killed,
movies.
mind controlled somebody to kill Charlie Kirk, one of
That's not
Donald
what I
Trump's
said.
original
No,
biggest
no, no.
supporters?
That's not what I
I
said.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if
Well, so
these
what are you
people that
saying?
believe
What,
in what they
Hold
believe.
on.
Listen,
Hold
listen,
on.
wait,
listen.
let's
Wait.
Silver. What do you? So what exactly are you
All
saying?
right.
Spell it out, Candace.
So
You're a
who was the
powerful black
number one
queen,
person who was very open publicly about being against Iran war and debating Trump on it over and over again?
Charlie
Kirk.
Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Who had Trump's ear based on what Trump said? Charlie
Kirk.
Kirk. Okay,
Yes.
so and then who wants to go to war with Iran? Israel. Who did Charlie turn down $150 million from? Israel. All this took place within a week of him dying.
Yeah.
And then what happened right after Charlie Kirk died? We went to war with Iran. So like, come on, dude. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need that
No.
much to say,
Wait.
okay, maybe
There
he was
is
a
a sock on
patsy,
the
and
floor.
they used MK Ultra to
No,
get to
Charlie
him.
Kirk died in September 2025. We went to war in February. Well, that's 5 months.
All right. Well,
So who mind control? Are you saying
I
Israel mind controlled the guy?
Mossad, dude, Mossad is the elite of the elite of the elite. Everybody, they're a fucking gangster at what they do. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm saying that
a
there
lot of
is
people
enough.
are controlled.
Yeah,
A lot of people are
there's a
not
lot of
controlled,
evidence
man.
that points to that. And so if that may be true, they're covering up the fact that they were involved. Just like it looks like a lot of 9/11 was done by them as well. Because what happened? We went to war with their enemies.
If they could just
Again,
mind control the guy, then none of the fucking stuff Candace is even talking about's relevant, though.
well, no, so a lot. She's like Alex Jones. She takes a big heap of mud,
Ugh,
throws it at the wall, see what sticks. I mean, come on. She's
Yeah.
kind of
She's good
she's
at it too. But
she's prolonging it for 2 years to get a massive amount of money out of it.
crazy. Yeah, we've been
Yeah,
going a year
I
now.
didn't say she's not she's a supreme grifter, dude. So of course she's doing
Yeah.
it that way. Which is
I
why
do
Andrew
think
was saying I'm gonna slow drip the release of the text on my channel. I'm not gonna do it now
but
because he was making a mockery of what she does.
Mm.
So he won with that in that regard. Like he crushed her with that. And no, most people, the problem was most people didn't catch that. So it wasn't OW for him because most people didn't catch what he was doing.
going back into the mind control conversation, I think that a lot of these content creators, even Candace Owens, is really good at controlling people's minds on her own accord. I don't necessarily think that makes you a robot that just does whatever they say do, but I think that a lot of these people's minds are warped because they don't know what to believe, but they feel like they can trust somebody, and that's what Candace does well. It's like, and I can't even fault her for it if she believes in what she believes, but it's like, it's people are willing to be manipulated if it makes them feel comfortable. So it's yeah, I'm rocking with Candace. I'm rocking with what she's saying, no matter what. And I feel comfortable whenever I hear Candace talking about these things. And that is a form of mind control. So it's not just the CIA doing it, it's everybody doing it. And a lot of people, their minds are controlled to just believe whatever their favorite content creator or whoever wants them to believe.
Yeah, what I look for in people that for people that fall over politics, they have to admit when they got it wrong. So
Yes,
a
that's a
prime
good.
example of that was Liberty Lockdown. He recently was getting into it with Viva Fry because Viva Fry was saying that the crowd that's on Candace's side doesn't ever show up for debates because they don't have anything to stand on. And Liberty Lockdown was like, dude, we just DM'd each other. I said I was open for the debate, and you fucking backed out, and then you claimed like I wasn't there to debate. Well, it turns out that Liberty Lockdown had his dates wrong, and so the text messages that he was talking about was wrong. It was way predated that for a different topic. So he got that wrong and publicly admitted, I called him out on this, saying he was lying. I was wrong. I apologize. That and he looked dumb, like he looked really bad for that, but he admitted it. Like, to me, that shows character, and most people in this space do not do that at all.
Facts.
There's only a few people that do that. Sean Ryan's done it. Rogan does it all the time. Liberty Lockdown does it all the time. You laugh, but it's true. As far as name, what
I think so too.
What liberals
I think
that
Joe
are
Rogan does
prominent
it
are
too.
admitting when they're wrong? It never happens, dude. Like
They're just always right, obviously. No, I don't fucking know. No, I just laugh because Rogan, like, I don't know. I'm just so tired of seeing clips of Rogan where he, like, some random guest tells him, like, oh, Trump is doing blah, blah, blah. And then Rogan's like, oh my God, really? That's terrible. It's like the worst thing ever. I'm just tired of seeing fucking clips like that. And I'm sure
he got.
in 3 months he'll
It's
be,
weird.
smiling behind him again at the Oval Office, like, spineless
Well,
lizard that he
again,
fucking is.
two
I do
separate
want to tell
things.
you guys, I got to go in a second. I have to do that
No, you're good.
album review at 6:30.
One of your
Okay.
viewers is in Garbled Vocation says they're going to miss the live today.
Derek, what up?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to
that
interrupt.
was
I was just telling you like
that
in
was
a few
that was
minutes.
Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is pointing out how insanely corrupt Trump is, and Rogan
No,
had never heard that.
It was some bearded guy talking about the Trump getting away on the like food cart or whatever, and Rogan's like, he just left a bunch of people on the plane to like die.
Hmm. Yeah.
Did you,
Well, it's
dude?
just like
Did you see
that's not Trump's decision though. That's Secret Service. It's not even.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucked.
still fucked.
It's fucked. It's fucked. But it's not Trump. That's not Trump's decision.
Did you see the meme that
you know,
was Rogan, or it was Trump as Bane, and it was like, there needs to be one of us in the wreckage, brother, to Marco Rubio. It was so good.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, but that's really funny.
Oh, it's so
that
fucking
was
good.
funny as hell.
Oh,
That is good.
like one of the best memes I've seen all year. So I don't know. Shit's fucked.
I don't know, man. All I know is that I don't know nothing.
All I know is my goat John Ossoff is like very likely to win in Georgia. Let's fucking
What do
go.
we bet on the pedo Tellerico, right? What do we bet?
I don't even remember what the timeline was on that, but you said some charges would pop up at some point within like a year or two.
No, I said 5 years.
5 years? Fuck,
Yeah,
that's a
I gave
long
some
bet.
time. Yeah,
Damn,
dude.
I feel like you said 5 and I said 1 or something. And you're like, okay, sure, that's fine, but whatever.
No, not a year. I wouldn't give it a year because we have to see how things pan out first.
Damn.
If he gets into office, it works in my favor because I think they'll start doing some digging. But if he loses, it doesn't work out for me.
Well, usually once they win a primary, then it's in your favor because then the other party's incentivized to dig up dirt.
Yeah.
Or they might, a lot of times they'll have dirt and they'll save it for after the primary, and then use
Well,
it.
he's anti-Israel, so hopefully my boys in the Mossad will start helping me out here.
True.
Because if anybody can pull it off, it's them.
Yep. Maybe they'll mind control him to go fuck, to go do some bad stuff.
It's so hard for people to grasp that we admitted to mind control.
No,
Like,
we've admitted to trying. Show me proof that we've done mind control, please.
Fair, but then you have the Unabomber, you have Charles Manson, you have all the people that we tried it on, and then they went and did crazy acts of violence that were like, okay, well,
maybe just fuck their brains up.
What about the dick on the Little Mermaid in the castle, and how that whole generation grew up to love corn and stuff like that?
What?
Or sex being written in the sky on the Disney movie Mufasa, The Lion King.
That's what Nelson was really into when he was growing up.
Yeah,
I was.
Damn, I want to watch Lion King again so I can see the sex word.
I think that they've they've changed it in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now the Little Mermaid thing was real. I had the actual VHS.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the
all on
Lion King
VHS.
thing was real too.
Do you think that was
Yeah.
like conditioning kids, or do you think that was somebody who worked there just doing a practical joke? Because they're like,
No,
nobody's gonna know.
I
it's
don't know.
animators just fucking around with each other.
That's
Like
what I would
other
say.
animators.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems way
Probably.
more likely to me than the
Dude,
government or Disney
go
is
to
trying to
any locker
brainwash
room
kids.
with dudes or like in the military or whatever. We're always drawing dicks and shit on people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. It's just talking shit to other developers. It's nothing crazy. They made that be really weird. I don't think it's a weird thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Well, do you think that it's weird that a bunch of dudes watch a bunch of porn?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Do you think
I
it's
don't
weird to
think
watch
it's
porn?
weird. I mean, I think it's probably
It's
not
super
good,
weird
but
to watch
is
porn.
it weird that a bunch
Are
of
you
dudes
proposing
Yes.
like
something?
looking at naked people? No.
No, I don't watch it at all. I'm just saying I think that it's weird, and I think that we've been conditioned up until this point to just accept it. It's like, oh, it's cool. We can watch two people on camera doing the deed.
Yeah, but if you went
It shouldn't be
back
a thing.
in time 100 years and you grabbed 100 dudes and you said, "Hey, I've got this fucking little,
100
you
dudes
know,
do it. Yeah.
little box where you can watch infinite women doing whatever you want," they're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, give me that shit!" Like what?
They,
It's
I
biology,
don't
dude.
know if they would.
Yeah,
I don't
It's
know
bro,
if
come
they would.
biology.
on, dude. Like, there was Playboy back in the day. Like, they would, they'd find any way. There was fucking, lewd artists, or oh,
Man,
come
we should have
on,
thought
man.
about this way. We
That's
should
a
have thought
crazy
about this
take.
way earlier. This is no, I don't think
It
so.
goes, dude.
I don't think so.
It's biblical. It's been around for as long as humans. I mean, it's
What do they
there's
say? It's the
always
oldest
selling.
profession, or
Yeah, dude. Like, what are we
yeah,
talking about?
that's a crazy
We're
take, Nelson.
disgusting.
Come on, are you not a man? Like, what?
I don't watch it.
No, I mean,
That's
I
not the
Do
get
I want to
question.
that.
have?
That's not the
Yeah, of
question.
course. Of course. What is the question? What are y'all asking?
Well, I was being
I thought
facetious,
that's
but
what
no, the
I
question
thought that's
is
what the
if we
question
got
was.
100 dudes from the year 1920 and offered them a phone with Pornhub, do you think they'd take it?
A few.
A few?
It'd be
Come on,
I
bro.
don't think
98%.
you can't.
It'd
No,
be over
hell no.
90%. Come on.
No.
Oh,
It's
ask
also, dude.
anybody, bro. Come on.
It's
Dude,
also a
I'm in
kind of a
20.
fucked up premise.
I'm in today, and if you offered that to me today, I would say no.
Yeah, but
Like,
Yeah,
you're
but
I would have
you.
said
that's
no.
where he got you, though. That's where he got you. The premise is he said this. They're going to be more curious about this in 1920 than it
He,
was when.
yeah,
Well, I
yes,
mean,
they would be.
just a phone that can only do
He's talking about
porn.
just the porn. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's only talking about
They
porn.
don't have
I
phones
know
back
that.
then. It's magic to
whatever.
them.
If you had a magic magazine that had infinite,
Yes.
whatever it is.
All right,
They,
I gotta go, y'all. I love you guys.
What
I
a
appreciate
way
y'all.
to end. All right,
I
see you
gotta,
guys. It
I
was good
gotta,
talking
I
to you
got
again.
to.